Battle through the heavens, Grand World. Chapter 148 End. Kai. The black spring water seemed to be boiling as it continuously formed black bubbles. After which, it exploded, causing the surface of the water to ripple. Xiao Yan, who was sitting cross-legged, forcefully endured the intense pain that penetrated deep into his soul. He still had no intention of stopping. In Xiao Yan's consciousness, his soul became more and more solid, and his soul power also gradually became stronger. Although this process was full of unbearable torture, the benefits he got in return were unimaginable. Outside the stone door, Li Daoyuan had his hands behind his back, and his eyes were closed. No one knew what he was thinking. After a while, he opened his eyes and saw that there was still no movement from the stone door. He frowned. It had been nearly 6 hours, why hadn't he come out yet? Could it be that he fainted inside? He's really greedy. He doesn't know how to come out even if he can't take it anymore. Li Daoyuan mumbled to himself. He walked forward and wanted to open the stone door. Rumble. At this moment, the stone door, which had been closed for a long time, finally opened slowly. After that, Xiao Yan walked out with a spirited look on his face. When Li Daoyuan saw this, he was slightly stunned. When he saw Xiao Yan's appearance, there was a slight sign of him fainting. Li Daoyuan was about to speak when his expression suddenly changed. He looked at Xiao Yan as if he was looking at a monster. He said with some surprise, "Your soul power has broken through to the middle period of alien stage." Seeing Xiao Yan nod his head in affirmation, Li Daoyuan couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. What a monstrous genius. He had broken through to the early alien realm in just 12 hours. He had reached the middle period of alien stage, and when he first saw the former. It was only 2 days ago, when Xiao Yan his soul power had just advanced to the early stage. He had never thought that it would take so little time. His soul power had already reached the middle stage. Wait, you won't. Li Daoyuan seemed to have thought of something. He looked into the stone door and saw that the originally dark spring water had become clear to the bottom. It was like an ordinary spring water. Li Daoyuan's heart trembled and his heart ached. He didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I can't believe you absorbed all of it. Do you still want to hold the next batch of pill competition in Spiritual Sky City? Li Daoyuan helplessly patted his forehead and sighed. His tone sounded like he was gnashing his teeth in anger. Seeing Xiao Yan's innocent expression, Li Daoyuan didn't know what to say. He looked at the clear spring water in the stone door with some sadness and let out a long sigh. Could it be that all alchemists after the 3-step soul transfer are so monstrous? The nearly 100 years of savings in Spiritual Sky City had been used up by Xiao Yan in 6 hours. Li Daoyuan felt like vomiting blood. Didn't you say that you can form so much spring water in 4 years? It won't be a problem for Junior to absorb all of it. Xiao Yan probed when he saw Li Daoyuan's ugly expression. Li Daoyuan glared at Xiao Yan and said, "Do you think everyone can absorb all the soul origins in the spring like you?" Xiao Yan raised his eyebrows when he heard this. He tactfully didn't say anything else, allowing Li Daoyuan to mumble by himself. "Let's go. Xiao Wang still has something to ask you. After waiting for so long, I don't know if he's still here." After closing the stone door, Li Daoyuan sighed and brought Xiao Yan down. There were no more soul origins in the soul accumulating spring. It was unknown whether the pill competition would be able to continue the next term. It seemed like he had to find his teacher to think of a way. Thinking of this, Li Daoyuan remembered what the 2 law enforcers of Nether Domain said before they left. He frowned and stopped talking. They arrived at the main hall. When they arrived at the hall, only Xiao Yu was there. When he saw Li Daoyuan and Xiao Yan coming over, Xiao Yu stood up and said, "Father has already left and returned to the Purple Radiance sect. He said that if Xiao Yan comes out and asks me to bring him to the Purple Radiance sect, he has something to ask." Li Daoyuan nodded. After pondering for a moment, he took out a purple token and handed it to Xiao Yan. "This is the certificate of champion of the pill competition in the Alchemist Association in Spirit Sky. It also represents a certain status. With this, any Alchemist Association in the star field will be able to get help." Xiao Yan was delighted when he heard this. He had worked hard for so long. Wasn't it all for the sake of getting this thing? Now that he had finally gotten it, he had finally completed one of the 3 tasks of the Holy Rank trial. This champion of the pill competition can be considered the highest honor in the prefecture. To be on the safe side, Xiao Yan took the purple token and asked. Of course. Li Daoyuan heard him and smiled. Although it's only a small competition with more than 400 participants, it's still the pill competition organized by the entire prefecture. The champion will naturally be the highest honor in the prefecture. After listening to Li Daoyuan's words, Xiao Yan finally felt relieved. He put away the token and bid farewell to Li Daoyuan before leaving the Alchemist Association with Xiao Yu. Watching the two of them disappear into the distance, Li Daoyuan let out a long sigh. He mumbled to himself, holding that token, it also means that you have become a guest elder of the spiritual Sky City's Alchemist Guild. In a few decades' time, you will be a dark horse sent by the spiritual Sky City's pill competition. Work hard, little fellow. Under the dim sky, Li Daoyuan stood in his original spot and did not speak for a long time. The Purple Radiance sect was located at the top of a tall mountain in the west of the spiritual Sky City. It was the holy land in the hearts of all the people who practiced martial arts in the Spirit Heaven Mansion. That towering mountain was also known as the Purple Flower Mountain by everyone. Flying was prohibited in the spiritual Sky City. After Xiao Yan and Xiao Yu left the spiritual Sky City in their beast carriages, naturally, some disciples of the Purple Radiance sect came to greet them with flying spirit beasts. These disciples were very familiar with Xiao Yu. They were also very respectful towards Xiao Yu. The latter was son of their sect chief. After receiving the order to come to spiritual Sky City to receive Xiao Yan, these disciples were naturally overjoyed. Sitting on the flying spirit beast and looking at the scenery below getting smaller and smaller, Xiao Yu took a deep breath and looked at Xiao Yan with some hesitation. Xiao, Mr. Xiao, I felt it when I was in the city just now. Something is not right. Are you? Xiao Yan smiled when he heard this. Although Xiao Yu looked extremely cold, he had a fiery heart. His performance in the pill competition had made Xiao Yan admire him. What is it? Xiao Yan stared into Xiao Yu's eyes and said with a smile. Your soul power. Have you already advanced to the middle period of alien stage? Xiao Yu didn't hesitate any longer and said in a deep voice. When he said this, his heart trembled slightly. If he really advanced to the middle period of alien stage, with Xiao Yan's talent and ability, he could even refine 6th grade medicine pill. As if he had seen through Xiao Yu's thoughts, Xiao Yan gently nodded his head and said with a smile, even if I advance to the middle period of alien stage, it's impossible for him to refine 6th grade medicine pills. My strength is only at the monarch spirit, and the origin monarch key required for the 6th grade medicine pill is far from enough. This is the first point. The second point, you know. Heaven Cauldron, right. Seeing Xiao Yu nod his head, Xiao Yan said in a deep voice. Refining tier 6 and above medicine pills requires heaven cauldrons. But the number of heaven cauldrons is extremely rare. Furthermore, the control of heaven cauldrons. It's far from what a middle period of alien stage soul can do. After hearing Xiao Yan's words, Xiao Yu smiled slightly and cupped his hands towards Xiao Yan. He said sincerely, Xiao Yu is convinced of Mr. Xiao's strength. Xiao Yan did not know what to say, so he could only smile back. When Xiao Yu saw this, his heart moved. He opened his mouth. In the end, he still said with some uncertainty, excuse me, may I ask, Mr. Xiao, is it the fighting monarch from the Fighting Key continent? Xiao Yan was stunned when he heard this, and then slowly nodded under Xiao Yu's surprised expression. Chapter end. Hi guys, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.